Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM. Mr. Mayor, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Mr. Larison?
Doing well.
Excellent.
Doing well. Not
Great.
a bad Monday. It's been a busy meeting on Monday, but sometimes that's how it goes.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm well. Yes. Interesting Monday as well, but not as interesting as yours. I mean, I had a few meetings, but not meeting, just meeting, kind of a break and then a meeting. So
Okay. Sounds good. How was your weekend?
Busier than I thought it was going to be. So I thought, there was nothing really going on that I had to be at.
We had a wedding the weekend before, right?
2 weekends before.
2 weekends before.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, still coming down from that and everything, but yeah, nothing, mandatory to be at, whatever. I thought, great. But then my wife invited our niece and nephew over for the afternoon on Saturday. So it was all hands on deck for that.
Love that.
A lot of fun. Yeah. And then our fourth in line headed back to Bloomington, and oh man, I forgot this, I forgot that, and could probably use some groceries. You guys wouldn't want to come down, would you? So we made an unexpected trip down to Bloomington yesterday afternoon.
I love that.
So,
yeah. Well, at least Bloomington's pretty.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was raining off and on. We hit some as we were going through, and it dumped a little while we were down there, but still, nice day to be down.
Absolutely.
Not a bad drive.
Well, before we get too much into it, let's give a shout out to the show partner which is Robert Miller and Son Furniture here in Kokomo. Get ready to embrace the summer heat with a sizzling summer savings event at Robert Miller and Son. Take advantage of up to 30% off select furniture pieces with Tempur-Pedic floor models up to 50% off. Lazy Boy recliners are starting at just $3.99, as well as a huge selection of American-made lift chairs. But what really sets them apart is their low price guarantee. So you can shop with confidence. Who doesn't love shopping with confidence?
Exactly.
Come in store to see their next edition in your home. Don't miss out on these amazing, sizzling deals. Shout out to Robert Miller and Son Furniture, which that is crazy, actually. 50% off or 30% off Tempur-Pedic floor models. That's crazy. Or 50% off.
50% off
Sorry.
floor models.
Yeah. Crazy. 30% off some,
Sizzling.
50% off Tempur-Pedic. And, they say, people don't really know how important a good mattress is. I mean, we spend,
right? Oh my gosh.
It's kind of a silly state. I mean, not silly, but it's kind of crazy. We spend a lot of our time asleep.
Mm-hmm.
More than our life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
If you look at it.
And it's important to make sure you're sleeping on something good. Mm-hmm. But all right, what's going on at City Hall this week?
Taking advantage of weather. We get street department not only trying to get some paving done, but the EMB continuing to make some progress along Hoffer Street, so keeping monitoring on that, as well as the now hotel convention site that we broke ground on last week, working with the gas company because we got to potentially move a line or work on to some connections before they start digging the lower levels of both facilities. So I know the contractor Hagerman is ready to, anxiously ready to
I bet.
Actually doing some dirt digging, not just what we tossed around last week as a ceremonial.
Well, that's exciting.
It is very exciting. A lot
really
of people
cool thing. I saw the renderings that came out. It looks beautiful.
It's going to be nice.
The big glass front for the convention center, and should be great.
It'll be very nice. Yep.
Yeah,
and then the Automotive Heritage Museum still a part of it, lower level of the convention center, stepping out to the Riverwalk area as well. So, really excited to see that start moving.
Love that. Absolutely. And then also one of Kokomo's favorite events is coming up, and it's the Touch a Truck event.
Touch a Truck. That's right.
When is that coming up?
So that is Saturday, September 10th. No. September 8th.
I'll pull it up right here.
Is that the
Saturday, September 8th? Absolutely. Yeah.
No, so it's
or Sunday,
September 8th.
Sunday,
Did I
September
say Saturday?
8th.
Yeah. Sunday, September 8th, back at Adventrek. The first hour, 11 to noon, is going to be the sensory hour where they probably won't have too many lights, but definitely no horns, no sirens or whatever. So that children and families that have sensory issues can still come and enjoy that. Then once noon hits, then it's all no holds barred.
Yeah.
Looking forward to another wonderful event that Sunday. And the day before, the Saturday, is the Kokomo Fire Department's 9/11 tribute event that started out years back just as a stair climb challenge there in the lobby of the YMCA. It's now moved to Kokomo Municipal Stadium, and it's got all kinds of things involved with it. Now it does still have the memorial stair climb on the Stairmasters that folks can sign up for, but there's also a 5K run from the stadium and back in the morning as part of that. They're going to have family-friendly activities, I think a bounce house or two or whatever, throughout the afternoon, and then it will end that evening. It was originally going to be ending that evening in the stadium with a performance by Mike Milligan and Steam Shovel, but they're moving that concert over to the Riverwalk to make it a little more accommodating for Milligan and his band for sound and such, as well as having it in close proximity, because later that evening, after Mr. Milligan and his band is done, between 5 and 7, folks can hit that one and then mosey on along the trail down to Foster Park for our final summer concert series for the evening, featuring Uncle Cracker.
Big event.
Big event.
Big day.
Big day.
Uncle Cracker, huh?
Uncle Cracker.
I love that.
Yep. So
how do we find him? How does that work, actually?
So
how do we find these people?
Just reaching out through their managers and such. But T.A. Weber with Weber Speakers has done that for us since I took office. Prior to that, the city contracted with a kind of a management company that did a lot of that digging and searching for him. But Mr. Weber and his connections through his speakers was able to line up those acts for the last 4 summers under my administration. He is now stepping away from that, and we are, I think we've got somebody to take his place. Don't know if it's made public yet, but those that are interested, it will continue, and every bit as much a big sensation as it has been, and we'll probably pair up and complement the Riverwalk concert series that's been offered by Kyle Gibson and the Coterie every
Huge
summer as well.
There too.
So it'll be good.
I love that. Very cool. Yeah. Well, anything else going on at City Hall?
I don't think so. We're getting close to finalizing budgets for next year. We've got some new fire apparatus on the way, on order, which is good. It's
a fire apparatus.
We need those engines.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
So we've had some aging engines that are showing signs of more signs of wear and tear, and a couple that had pooped out, and so we're going to back up. So finding ways to get some newer engines online with that, as well as with a new aerial ladder truck that's coming, that's due in December. So looking forward to that as well.
So we just have backup engines
right now,
ready to go? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yep. They're aging. The one that's now back in service is like 32 years old.
Wow.
And he's still plugging
So the
away.
ones that aren't the backup, how old is an aged fire engine?
Well, typically anymore, as I've been told by those in the department, typically engines, age out around, 15, somewhere between 15 and 18 years. 15 is still pushing it. 18's definitely pushing it. And so the majority of ours are either 15 to 18 years old or older.
Wow.
So, yeah, got a few youngsters in there and a few more coming, but it's definitely time to kind of get a plan in place and start some rotation on that.
So is that like a normal car situation? Like, are you trading in there, and are you going to try to sell the old engines? How does that work?
We've been able to sell a few of the old ones. Not so much trade in, just because a lot of those that you can't really get parts for anymore and such. So
do you trade those into the same company you're buying the new one from, or
there is that option with some of them, since there's more than one company. But we're not trading any of the older ones in with to the new ones.
Are you selling to other communities, or
we had sold one recently to the Emergency Management Agency, so the Howard County EMA. So it's an extra tanker, so that in the case of that the county would need it, or a township needs backup or something, there's an addition, or even that the city would need. There's an extra tanker that could show up on scene and help.
Gotcha.
So Yep.
Very cool.
Good
okay.
Stuff.
All right. Well, we have one question today, and it came in live chat. It's actually a really good question.
Ooh, good.
It sparked some good conversation. Because in the past, and this was the previous administration, and I don't know if since you've been in office, this has been like a big focus, but I know we've talked about recently just the trail systems and how much the city has invested into the trail systems over time, which they just keep expanding, except when the railroad company won't let us expand it. But but this is from Lacey in live chat.
Great.
Hi. Smiley face.
Hey, Lacey.
Have you considered making Kokomo streets more bike friendly? I love the trail and I use it frequently, but biking from certain areas of the northwest side /Berkeley/Jefferson is dangerous. We have a few lanes around the city, but they end abruptly. Sidewalks aren't completed, and of course, bikers try to wreck due to damage, or because bikers to wreck due to damage. Got it. I see the tax dollars increasing for homeowners, so let's keep us healthy as well. Biking helps keeps us safe and active. We want to be an active city. Lacey on live chat.
Very good. Yeah. I mean, there are areas to kind of connect where the trails may continue on, like Carter Street's a good example of that right there at the Cloverleaf. If you can either continue on southwest towards Markland or down back past UCT down to Foster Park, but you can also head straight west. It's not a trail as if it looks like, through the landscaping and such, but there are bike lanes painted on various streets. Carter's one of them. Webster is one of them. They're between Lincoln and Alto. And so there are certain areas there where there are bike lanes painted. But a lot of that availability really has to do with the size of the streets as they currently exist. And so in the event that we end up reconstructing a street and have the ability due to dedicated easements that exist, if we want to widen the street a little bit to add a bike lane, we can. A lot of times, though, those streets that may have the opportunity are wider because it accounts for on-street parking. So there's a lot of folks that, with residences that, may not have an alleyway around back or a dedicated driveway and rely on on-street parking. And so that becomes an issue. But I know that as we look to improve some of the streets, if the opportunity presents itself to make it a little wider, that would definitely be something that we can try and add in based on the space available.
Sure.
To make it possible or actually dedicated. Otherwise, I guess outside of starting another kind of public awareness thing, to watch out for bikes. I mean,
Sure.
The same way they do for watch out for motorcycles and such to keep them safe. We could definitely look into that type of campaign.
And Lacey is she's still in the live chat, and she said there's no sidewalk to Carter from Berkeley. So there's no room whatsoever to bike south on Berkeley in order to get to Carver. So I think it's understanding, like, you can't just throw a bike lane down on a road, right? Because there's traffic. And then, like you said, a lot of our roads now there's parking, like street parking as well. So how do you get around that to make it? So
the stretch of Berkeley down to Carter Street.
Yes.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, up to this point, Berkeley, there was no dedicated easements on either side. So we couldn't widen it, to add a bike lane or to add a sidewalk, up to this point now. That stretch of Berkeley from Markland north to Sycamore is slated to be reconstructed. We were hoping earlier, but the whole community crossings things that had to push Hoffer and north and things back. I don't think it'll be next year, maybe the year after that. With that reconstruction, there is going to be a sidewalk included as part of that. And I think we've talked about it before. And if the easement doesn't exist, we've got to spend the time to get with each one of those property owners and get them to grant easement to place the sidewalk. You just can't.
And Lacey, you're watching,
there.
I guess, define the easement for them. If Lacey's not sure what that means.
Yeah, so an easement is an imaginary line that is granted either drawn in and dedicated when a certain area of property or properties are designed to begin with. And so what that does is that it's for future use or future possibilities. Center Road's a good example of that. I mean, Center Road, we just recently installed the bike and walking trail on the south side of Center Road. So when Center Road was originally designed, it was still part of the county. But when they designed that road, they went ahead and that deed of record, when it was developed, included an imaginary line or space on either side of the road that if they needed to make it a 3-lane or 4-lane road, they could do that, or we could do that. So when it came into the city, that easement still existed, which gave us the opportunity then to go up to that imaginary line and put that trail in. So some cases they have it, in some cases they don't. That's the struggle with sidewalks as well. I mean, there's people in neighborhoods that when a developer comes in and designs the neighborhood, they may choose to go ahead and pay the extra expense to design and put in sidewalks, or again to kind of design as part of that imaginary line that would allow the city to do expansion or to put things in later. But if they don't already exist, then chances are the city only has the right of way from curb to curb. And so in order to install sidewalks in any given neighborhood where they don't exist, you'd have to go to every property owner, along a stretch and get them to sign off and say, yeah, we'll let you come 10 feet onto our property and put a sidewalk within that 10 feet.
Yeah. Another thing we've talked about in this same type of, easement issue was, I remember when we were looking at, people were asking when the trolley system first got created, well, we need a trolley stop here. We need a trolley stop there. Where those trolley stops exist technically can be on private land. So you would have to get permission from either that business owner who owns that land, or even the home that owns that land, to get permission for them to actually put that trolley stop there.
And even the permission, I mean, some say, hey, that's great, but only put a sign there. Others are like, oh yeah, sure, there's enough room. Go ahead and put a shelter there. So that's why some have shelters and some don't, because again, the permission that the property gave to do it. Yeah.
As much power as the people think the city has, sometimes you just can't go on someone's property and build a neat, a
that's been the struggle with trying to get lighting to Indian Heights. I mean, when Indian Heights came in and they're like, hey, we want street lights. I mean, that was the same way. We've been working with Duke, and Duke has been reaching out to property owners through there. We got the first phase done. We're still trying to complete the second phase, and a lot of that too is because where Duke has it designed and they've identified where they need to go, they've been trying to get permission from those property owners to install a light pole, because again, we just can't go in and throw light poles, for the sake of safety, because people are like, yeah, that's great, I want a light pole, but I don't want to have to mow around. I don't want that thing. I mean, just put it right next door.
Well, then like to dig for the electricity. I mean, all that kind of stuff too. Yeah. Nothing's ever easy. All right. We have another question, live chat from Kyle. Where are we with the designated outdoor refreshment area?
It is approved.
DORA.
So the DORA has been approved by the state, and we are in the process now of getting the signage created, and then how that signage needs to look. We were going to put stickers, at the bottom or at the bottom on the sidewalks, at the boundaries.
Smart.
Kind of not sure that the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission would approve that. I mean, so we're identifying street poles such to maybe put the DORA signs on it. Looking at trash cans as well, because there's the request to
some sort of boundary marker.
Yeah. So we've got to put those at the intersections of each, and I think there's 30. I think there was 39 points of entry, if you will, that we have to put some type of signage on, and so we're now trying to identify what that signage looks like, and if the ATC is okay with what we come up with. So the DORA exists. It's still what was proposed with the mapping. We're just in the process now of identifying where and how to put the required signage up.
Which, of course, it sounds like Kyle watching is aware of what the DORA is, but the DORA is an acronym for obviously Designated Outdoor Refreshment Area. So define that really quick for everybody watching. What is the DORA?
So the DORA, was legislation passed allowing municipalities to, I know it's designated outdoor refreshment area, but to map out an area within their city within which not only can open containers be permitted of alcohol adult beverages, but whether or not you can just use the container itself or a designated cup. So what that does, that allows patrons at bars or restaurants, if they still have a beverage, or if there's an event going on and people stop in and back out, they can then leave the establishment with the designated or approved container, whether it's a cup with the logo of the DORA on it, or if it's just the container itself. But then it allows folks to roam within the mapped area within that city or municipality with legally.
Yeah.
Now with that doesn't mean that someone, that already has a cup full of an adult beverage, once they leave one establishment, that they can walk into another one with that. They have to discard, what they have. It doesn't allow them to move freely in and out. It's just basically to help finish what you have and be able to mill around the streets.
Alcoholic anarchy out there.
Right.
There's still some rules and guidelines. Where is that district? Could you where roughly does that start? Where does it end?
It's as far north as Jefferson, gets to Union, comes down Union, does not include the YMCA, does not include City Hall, goes down basically to Municipal Stadium, does not include the school because schools aren't permitted. So Union basically down to the stadium, encompasses the stadium, over to Main Street, and includes the Riverwalk and Fox's Trail area, over to Washington, and includes Foster Park, but Foster Park is only included in the DORA from April to October. So we stuck with the time of events and summer concert series and Haynes Apperson and such. So that, it wasn't just free reign year round for the parks, or at least Foster Park. But then the Washington, on the east side of Washington, then back up to Jefferson.
Gotcha. Okay. Also, I'm concerned that I just gave Kyle a new marketing tagline of alcoholic anarchy there. He's going to like that too much.
But businesses and such within that DORA or the designated area can have or will have signage as well that says that they are a participant. Where if you have the container that you're that you would be able to have that in there, or they say we're not a participant, so you can't come and go. So there are those, even though you're within the DORA, doesn't mean people can come and go in your establishment with an alcoholic beverage.
Gotcha. Okay. We have another question in the chat from Kathy. What takes so long to empty the recycling dumpsters? Is there a place to take broken down cardboard?
I know you can.
She's talking about the public ones. I'm guessing that might be what she's talking about.
I guess the containers outside of the city limits, out at, I think there's still one out at Western High School. There's one at Northwestern High School. There's one at the South Library.
Are any of these within city limits?
The only one within the city limits is the one at Market Street, which is at the reclaim center itself. And so there's I think 3 or 4 on that side, but the others are scattered on the outside because the city has curbside recycling. So assuming she means those outside remote containers, the recycling district does the best they can, and they, I think, empty those almost twice a week a lot of times.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of times, because there's so few on the outside of the city limits, they get a lot of activity. And so if they see one that is full or seems to be full more than one day, they can call the recycling district and advise them of that. But again, they try to monitor that and get those emptied as quickly as possible. It's just sometimes they don't get out as quick as people would hope, because they still keep showing up to do that. But broken down cardboard, I think the Disabled American Veterans group, maybe through the VFW on North Washington, you can call the DAV, and they have a vehicle, and they accept broken down cardboard and use that to then cash in and use towards services for their disabled veterans. So I don't know the number of that. It might be something online.
We had that when we moved into our office.
Good.
A guy came and collected all of it and then donated it, and it goes back to them.
Yep.
Yeah. We had a lot of cardboard when we moved in here.
I bet.
Kathy says the one on Market Street is always full and hardly ever empty.
Which is
that's the one
kind
at
of a
the
surprise,
district, right?
That you think they'd just be able to swing around and get that emptied. So
possibly.
We'll remind them to keep an eye on that and try and get it emptied as frequent as possible.
Okay. A lot of cardboard too. I've said multiple times, if I were to go back to invest in anything 20 years later, it's somehow investing in cardboard because of just like e-commerce, Amazon, like the amount of cardboards human use now compared to 20 years ago is just wild. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I hate cardboard too, by the way.
Which contributes to the fact that a lot of the bins that are scattered around are so full quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle wants to know you can only have 3 toppings on your burger for the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
Only 3 toppings.
We'll end with a fun one today.
On my burger for the rest of my life.
There's 2 directions you can go with this question, I feel like. One, you go just like classic. Right? Like the evergreen backyard burger.
And that's what I was getting
pickles,
ready to
onion,
do.
tomato. You know what I mean? Like classic ingredients. Or you could go like something unique, and maybe not. You don't have them all at the same time. Where are you going? Which way are you going? What are you picking? 3.
Only 3. But see, if it's only 3, then you
only 3 toppings the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
Man, imagine this question with pizza too.
And I love. The messier the burger, the better. I mean, I love it when you bite into something and it drips, but that usually means there's like 6 things on it.
Kyle, if you're still watching, which I think you are, does cheese count as one of these toppings?
Oh.
Because that could drastically change, well, not drastically, by 1, apparently. Not just by 1. Does cheese count?
Because I was going to go the classic route and say just cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
Cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
But then there's no special sauce on it.
Cheese does count, he said.
Cheese does count.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So I'd have to go with cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
Cheese, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah. It's a good combination.
Kyle, I don't think you asked this question for me to answer, but I want to join in.
Well, I was going to have you answer it anyhow.
Oh man. Is it crazy that cheese might not make it?
No, it's not crazy at all.
Because
sometimes cheese, and I get it,
just
sometimes
disappears kind of.
Right. And it can take some of the pleasure away from the goodness that's in the burger itself.
Yeah. Kyle gave his answer, and it's American cheese. He went specific with the cheese. American cheese, mayonnaise, and red onion.
There you go.
See, I love onion. Mm-hmm. I am like a onion of all kinds kind of guy. I like, sauteed onions. I like raw onions. I like red onions. I like white onions, yellow onions. I literally have family that lives in Vidalia, Georgia, where the Vidalia onions are from.
Perfect.
I got some deep cuts to onions. So onions definitely would be making my list. Mm-hmm. I'll put cheese on that list because, I probably would miss it at some point. The third one I feel like would have to be some sort of sauce.
Yeah.
Onions, cheese. I mean, mayonnaise is safe.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise can also get kind of boring. I would say like a Dijon mustard.
To give it a little kick.
Kick. Mm-hmm. You're nodding your head. You know what I'm talking about.
Because I usually, if I'm allowed to do more ingredients, barbecue sauce usually ends up on my
burger. See, I would never think about barbecue sauce on a burger. Apparently, I have a nickname of Onion Boy now in the chat, so that's cool. Dylan, what about you? I'll tell him. Do you have a mic back there?
I do.
All right.
Dylan, what are your top 3?
Oh man, I'm a big ketchup guy, personally.
Oh, Kyle hates you now. But go ahead. That's fine. That's fine.
I'm sorry, Kyle.
You're good.
He won't read the comments.
I'm going to go with Colby Jack cheese.
Okay.
Oh, good.
That's actually, yeah. Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to throw in some lettuce.
Lettuce.
Yeah.
Colby Jack.
And ketchup.
And ketchup.
Yep.
Pretty basic guy back there, huh?
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. You're simple. Simple
Yep.
tastes. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Interesting. Well, Kyle would like me to fire you, actually, is what the chat says right now. Okay. So I'm not going to do that. That would absolutely end in a lawsuit somehow, firing a person because they like ketchup. Also, I really like Dylan. So we're not going to do that in general. But thanks for the question, Kyle.
Yeah, perfect.
He also said, put you in a straight job. I'm just closing my laptop. I'm done with the comments today. But thanks for watching and for all the live chat questions today. That was fun. Had some good ones, some serious ones, and then also ended with a fun one.
Fun one.
What else
Always
could you
good.
ask for here on the Mayor Tyler Moore Show? Love it.
A jar of dirt.
Did you bring it in? Oh,
I did not.
Okay, so we didn't bring it in.
I should have taken a picture. We can put
fine.
something on later.
We'll overlay it. Maybe this will be a clip. So we've been doing this show for quite a long time.
Has it been 3 years yet?
Oh, easily. I think so. Quite a long time. And there's been a joke. So the seat that Dylan is sitting in, Aaron used to sit in, our managing editor and co-owner here at the Kokomo Post. And Mr. Mayor promised Aaron a jar of dirt.
Actually, it was a box of dirt.
A box of dirt for years.
For the last probably 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, specifically due to when we break down on that hotel and conference center, he'll give her a box of dirt. And he walked into our office today with a little gift bag, and it had a little jar of dirt in it.
Jar of dirt.
You got her the jar of dirt.
I got her the jar of dirt.
So that jar of dirt is now sitting proudly on her bookshelf in her office.
Politely thanked her for her patience as she waited for that gift.
Hey, it's good that she's patient with you. That's good. I'm glad. I'm really happy with you or for you for that. That's good that she's patient with you. It's good. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. Do you have a dad joke for us too before we go?
We talked about, Kyle asked about the 3 ingredients. So my 3 my 3 ingredients on my burger actually ran a race.
They did?
They did. They ran a race, and the lettuce won with the tomato at a close second.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lettuce was ahead the whole time, and the tomato was trying to catch up.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is comedy gold you just experienced.
It was?
You just made that up.
I'm just stating the facts.
You just made it up.
I'm just stating the facts.
No, yeah, they really raced. Anyway, thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. If not, you can catch us next Monday right here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. See you later, Kokomo.
See you, Kokomo.